I'm going to talk about functions in computer programs. But let's first see what a computer program is. A computer program could be understood as a text which is written for a computer. For a computer to follow. To follow what? To follow instructions which are in that, let's say, text. A programmer writes that text. So a programmer needs to do a job, has a need, and that job has steps. The programmer writes those steps inside a program. Those steps are called instructions to be followed. To be followed, it means to be run, to be executed. It happens that in one program, a bunch of instructions are frequently necessary. It means, for example, 10, 20, 100 lines of instructions are necessary many times. You can write them again and again, you can repeat them, but it's not efficient. Not for a programmer who is going to write them, not for the computer which has to save them, and again not for a programmer, because the programmer would be happier if the code was smaller and better understandable, easier understandable. So what the programmer does is giving a name, like a name that you give to a human, to that piece of code which is frequently necessary. This piece of code is called a function. And like a human that you can call a function. If you call a function, the function or that piece of code will be executed. How? The computer is reading instruction after instruction, and one of the instructions is the name of a function, is the name of the piece of code that a programmer has decided, has recognized as important. So what does the computer do? The computer jumps to the beginning of that function, that bunch of lines of code, runs them, and then returns to the original place from which it has jumped out. So you call a function and then you return from the function. There are two kinds of functions, value returning and non-value returning functions. There are functions that after you call them, they will give you a gift. They will give you a report, a value, which is the result of their work. So you return from those functions with a value. There are functions which have jobs which do not have a report. They don't have a value to give you back. For example, a function average, which calculates the average of several numbers, returns the average to you. But a function which is connected to a device, for example, opens a door, it doesn't return a value. It doesn't give you a report. It acts and then returns. So you return from that function, or we say the function returns. This was a simple explanation of the concept functions or function in programming languages. I hope you enjoyed it.